What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Carchives. This time we will be installing our ISR intercooler for the 2J s13. I got this kit off of Drift HQ. This is kind of the next step for the manifold build process. I gotta figure out where this kit wants to put the turbo, and I will kind of connect the dots from there. I'll keep this video kind of short and sweet. It'll be just a nice quick install of the intercooler itself and the piping going up into the 240. Here we go. First order of business, we got all of our piping. We got some soft pipes, some hard pipes, and then all of our clamps that we'll need. And we got our intercooler here with all the hardware to install it. All right, the tools you'll need be angle grinder with a cutoff wheel, impact or wrench that are 12 and 13 millimeter, a 10 millimeter wrench, which would be for your hose clamps, and that should be everything you need to install it. Alright, before we move on to the next step, I did run into an issue with the Thank you, Maggie. Thank you. Tell me how I'm supposed to put it in. Do you know how to put it in? Okay. Before we move on to the next step, I did run into an issue with these lower tabs here. They were drilled out too small. Did get in contact with Drift HQ just to be sure that the hardware it came with, it was the right hardware, and that these holes were too small. So thank you to Drift HQ for being so helpful with the back and forth on those emails. But what I did is I just took my drill bit, drilled it out just a little bit bigger so that the supplied hardware can just fit right into it. Alright, now on to mounting it. You got these two little L brackets it came with. They'll go, there's supposed to be two more supports here on the core support that mine doesn't have. But there is a factory little nut on that side, so you'll take the long side, put that up, and then take your 10 mil. I'm going to leave those a little loose so I can get proper adjustment and get the intercooler settled where it's supposed to be settled. Alright, now the top mount for this thing will go right here below the hood latch. I already took the nut out, I already took the bolt out. But you'll take the long bolt that was supplied with it, run that through, and then the spacer that'll go on the other side of it. You'll just snug it up there. Again, I'm going to leave it a little loose so I'm able to get some adjustment and get it all straightened out before we tighten everything down. And then for the lower tabs, you'll take the supplied bolt, a supplied bolt washer, lock washer, and nut, and just drop it down in there. Again, just doing hand tight until we can make our final adjustments. So this will roughly be your piping setup here. You got your short 90 going on the turbo side of the intercooler, and then your long angle piece going from there to the turbo, with your 45 boot here with the smaller side going into the turbo. On your right side here, you got your twist piece here connecting to the intake side of the intercooler, along with your smaller angle piece going from there with your 90-degree coupler going into the intake. There are different size clamps, but one to make a note of is the 75-67 clamp that will go to your turbo and coupler. It's the only one like this. The other ones are kind of mix and match. Alright, starting off with the intake side. And for now, I'm gonna leave these mostly loose, just to be able to have some adjustment when it comes to placement. One thing I haven't mentioned yet, the inside of your wheel wells, obviously it's supposed to have your wheel well here. The guy that had it before me, or had this chassis before me, he was kind enough to just cut a big old hole. But what you would do at this point is mark out with a Sharpie about where you want this to sit. Obviously maybe a little bigger would help, and take your angle grinder and cut a hole out for the next pipe and coupler to go in. But since mine already has 2 big holes cut out, I don't need to worry about that. Now, if I had the intake manifold here, that's where I'd put the last one. The reason I don't have one is this is a GE, and they have a they don't have a front-facing intake manifold, so I just need to get a GTE manifold or a custom-made one to then attach it to there. But you get the gist. That completes the ISR intercooler install. The next step for me would be place my turbo in here, get it to sit where I want so I can start building my turbo manifold and finish that up. So that'll do it for today. If you got any questions or I messed it up somehow, let me know in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Deuces.